What's up, you guys? Today we are working on Fat Boy's Toyota pickup, and we're gonna be installing this head unit from Pioneer. That's the model number. This one doesn't take any CDs or any of that, just a USB and Bluetooth, and it's a little more simple. But this is a nice one. I got all the stuff right here. Got hands-free calling, dual phone connection, color customization, USB. You can connect the steering wheel stuff, and it doesn't play CDs. So if this plug works on this truck, that's the part number TA02B, then we're gonna be installing the head unit, because we tried it on my 85 and it didn't work. So we have to see if it works on this one. We're gonna get to removing all this from here and pull out the stock head unit. One screw there on this side, has another screw back here on the driver's side, and then the ashtray has to come off. Probably put these screws here in the middle, and then it has two here, and these are gray. Not that it matters much, but they're a little different. I think because these go into the plastic, maybe, I don't know. And I think there's another one up here. Oh yeah, there is. There's another one up here. And then this silver thing comes out. This is another thing about this truck. It has this little light here for this ashtray. It's actually not a light. I don't know what it is, but it has something here for the ashtray, which goes to this, I think. Let me figure this out. I'm gonna try to pull it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. The black truck, my black truck also has this cable here, which I don't know what it does, but I'll try to leave it on here. Oh, okay, it goes to the little light over here. It goes to this light, which is cool because not a lot of trucks have these little extra features, and these trucks, well, my truck and his truck actually have it. We disconnected this from here. Unplug this one, and then we're gonna unplug the antenna, power antenna. Here, one of you want to clean that? And it looks like this radio has never been pulled out of this truck, which is a good thing. We have another screw here on the side. One down here. Has two more on the left side or driver's side. And the whole radio comes out. So now it only has this little plug right here. And it has the antenna. That's what the stock radio looks like. And this thing actually works. Should have showed you guys, but it actually works. Now I'm gonna take this harness and plug it into that harness in there. Hopefully it works. It should work. It says 84 and up, Toyota power for speaker connector. Let's see if I can plug it to any of these. Nope. I'm gonna work with this one, and it might not work with this one. Damn. I don't know what's up with this plug. Didn't work for any of these. So if you have an 84 and 85, I mean 85 and 86, which we tried these on, it's not gonna work. We're gonna go ahead and order a new plug, and then we'll get back to the installation on this truck. So actually, before we get to the harness, or before we get the harness in the mail, we're gonna get to installing these speakers. We had these on our blue Toyota pickup. Since that one sold, we're gonna put these speakers on this truck, and it's not gonna go to an amplifier, it's just gonna go straight to the head unit. So these are the ones that we got. TX4, it's a 60 watts RMS, and they were pretty decent. They're pretty loud. So we're just gonna install them and run the wires, because we're not gonna cut the original harness. We're gonna put some of this OFC, what's it called, Sky High car audio speaker wire. So we have to remove the glove box, and there's a couple of screws down here, that one right there and that one right here, and then these little tabs just push inward and the glove box comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera real quick. So with that out the way, there's another Phillips head screw right here and another one right here, and these are the ones that go into plastic. They're gray. I like putting things back how they came off, so I try to keep track of what I'm removing. That should be it. If I'm not mistaken, you pull it from the bottom or from the top. I don't remember. There's more screws. I don't know why it's not coming off. Okay, so there's like a little tab right here. We pushed it up and out. It's a little tab. And these are the original speakers that came on this truck. 2 Phillips head screws. Oh shoot. Almost got that speaker. And they actually work, so we're gonna save them. I don't know why, but we're just gonna save them. Maybe hang them on the wall or something. And these actually have a little plug. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove it from that. We got it off. So we just had to pry out these little tabs right here and right there. And this plug came right out. So we're gonna leave that in there. It's pretty dusty in here. And we're gonna install, or actually we're gonna start routing the cables. We're gonna route the cables from back here, and we're gonna zip tie them to this. All right, so this is all we did. We just left a little bit of wire sticking out so we could kind of be able to tuck it away once the speaker goes in. And then we zip tied it to this little plastic tab right here and right there, and then we ran the wire back here. Now we're gonna cut those zip ties off. So in case we ever have to pull out the dash, we could just cut those out and not have to worry about it being all over the place. This thing is pretty dusty. So now we're gonna hook up our speaker and put the screws back in, and then we'll put you guys back on. But look at the comparison. Look at this little magnet and look at the bigger magnet. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I remember back then people would say that. The speaker difference right there. we ran into a little issue. So back here, I don't know if you guys can see, but the fitment, I mean the speaker doesn't even fit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this one with one of the screws, and then I guess that one we're gonna probably find a bigger screw just to hold it in there so it won't be flopping around. But I thought it was gonna fit. It's crazy because on the blue truck it did fit with no issues at all. But let's see how this goes. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see, but basically I could fit a whole finger right here. This screw went all the way in, kind of pulled back a little bit, and then this one went all the way in. But the magnet is touching, so there's no other way for me to fit it. I'm gonna leave it like that, leave it alone. Now we're gonna put the plastic back together. We rinsed this thing a little bit. So now up here it has a clip. You guys can see a little better right there. This thing slides in there, and then the bottom one goes into that little hole on that bottom tab. Or does it go in there first? Nope. So you have to slide it up, and then that tab goes in there. Try to do it with 2 hands. Okay, so we got the cover back on, and we got the glove box back on. Now we have the cable just sticking out of this area, but we're not gonna cut it yet. We're gonna run the other side first, and then once it's here, we'll chop it where we need it, just so we can have one piece of speaker wire left, just as scrap or whatever. I'm gonna go over to the other side and start taking that side apart. On the driver's side, it's a couple more things that have to come off, because we have this here, we have the deck lamp, we have the knob, and we have this that we have to go over. So we're just gonna remove all the screws. I'm gonna remove this one down here, and then we're gonna remove this one down here. And then we're gonna remove this one right here. This one more right here. So it's 2, 4, 6, 3, 4, 5. We're missing one. Okay, so we're gonna pull this off like that. Over here it just has these little 2 tabs, and then we have to unplug these 2, the one for the deck lamp and the one for the headlight or the dimmer switch. And the deck light, you only have them if you have a extra cab. Not all trucks have them. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug this and unplug this one. We have to rinse this. Look how dirty that is. So with that aside, you can see the speaker. It's right there. There's little black screws to go into that metal tab. So anything that goes into plastic is the gray screws, and I guess the metal ones go into metal tabs or whatever. There you go. Another stock speaker, and then this little cable thing is gonna go over here to the side. Now we're gonna run the other cable. I have to figure it out first, but ideally we want to have it out of the way, because on my blue truck, when I ran the cable, it would interfere with the handbrakes on. I think I'm gonna run it next to this harness right here, up over the steering column, and then maybe right here to this side or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out right now, and then I'll put you guys back on. Alright, so we kind of have an idea of what we're gonna do. We removed the vent tube right here. It only had one Phillips head screw right there, just so we could get a better view of this. So we're gonna zip tie this to this right here, and then we're going to zip tie this part to this harness back here, just so it won't be dangling, moving around too much. But yeah, basically it's gonna go over the steering column like this. Man, we have enough cable right here. That's the only other way to do it, because the vent tube is right here, and of course, and we don't want the wire to show by the vent tube or anything. We're just gonna zip tie it up here, out of the way, and right there. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna put the vent tube back on, and then I'll put you guys back on. Okay, so now we're gonna put the new connector things on here on the speaker wire. So we got this for the positive, and then we have this for the negative. It's a little smaller. And then we're just gonna put the speaker in there and put the screws back in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I have to do this with two hands, obviously, but we're gonna strip the wire, crimp these on, and then connect the speaker. Oh, and then up here, this is what it looks like. We also put a little zip tie right here, just so it won't hang much on this end. So on this side, we're actually having the same issue as the other side. This thing is coming in contact with the vent tube, but we're gonna do the same thing as the other side also. We're just gonna put the screws in and let them hold the speaker in place, I guess. So this is what it's looking like on the inside. We put the panel back on. Can't really see the harness. I should really look for it. But up here in the middle, we're going to get a decent amount of wire, maybe like up to here. And then we're gonna chop this. We're gonna have one solid piece of speaker wire left, just in case we ever need it. And that's pretty much it. Now we gotta wait for the stereo harness to come in. Okay, so we got the new harness in today, and we have it out of the package because we were test fitting it, and as you can see, it actually worked. We got this one from Metra, part number 70-1398, and this one actually worked for this 86 Toyota pickup. The other one that we have purchased said that it worked on this truck, but it didn't. And then it came with this extra plug, and I believe this is for the 4Runners, if I'm not mistaken, for the rear speakers, but obviously we're not going to use that. And we will be removing these 4 wires from this plug. Open the other side, Fat Boy, because of the light. Because we're going to go straight from the head unit to these speaker wires, so we don't want to have extra wires all over the place. So we're only going to use these 4. And I'm gonna test to see if we have ignition power at the plug right now, because I think we don't. When I did the blue truck, I think I tapped into the fuse box. So I don't think we have any ignition power right now. You have the key? Yeah. Oh. Close it. Okay, we do have power at this red wire, which is switched. And I'm not sure. I think constant power was in at the plug, but I'm gonna check right now. This is the harness that came with the head unit. So basically, we're gonna match it all up except the rear speakers, like I said. We're just gonna twist them and leave them here on the harness for now, but we're gonna use this is for the remote, so we're not going to use this one. We're going to use basically these four for this harness, which is illumination. The orange with the white is illumination, the red one is switch power, ignition power, and then the yellow one I think is constant power, and then the black one is ground. So yeah, I think we don't have yellow on this plug, so we're gonna have to find constant power for this cable here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down. I'm gonna probably chop off like 2 inches maybe, just make it a little shorter so it won't be a huge harness. So this is how much I chopped off. Well, on this one you could see it's about 2 inches, and then on this one it was like another 2 inches. So this is all what? So this is how long these wires are gonna be roughly. And we just left the remote wire alone because it's covered up with that little tape. So now I'm gonna use the stripper and strip all these wires so we can start crimping. Okay, so we wrapped up the harness with this tape, electrical tape. Couldn't find the Tesla tape, so we used the black tape for now. And then we have the speaker wires coming from the head unit straight to the speaker wires that are on the dash. Now this is gonna go straight to the factory harness. Like that. And then we need to give it constant 12 volt. So for that, I'm gonna use this fuse tap, and we're gonna go to the fuse box. Put the radio over there. So we're gonna go under the dash over here on this side. Give me the tester, right here. Oh, you guys can't really see it, but there's this little cover, and then there's fuses back here. So we're gonna find constant 12 volt right now that the ignition is off. So let's see if we can find something. All right there. So that one has 12 volt. This one has 12. The ignition is off, right?
Yeah.
So there's 2 that have 3 that have constant power. So now it's these 2 right here and the corner one. So the 15 one right here on the, the corner one right here is the 15 amp for the EFI. Then there's the stoplight and the dome light. So I think we're gonna tap into the dome. It's a 7.5. So that one's gonna go to this bottom fuse thing right here. And then we're gonna give it a 10 amp fuse up here. And we're gonna run a wire from that spot right there to the fuse box and tap it to this. So we have another little piece of wire that we're gonna run across. So this is what it's gonna look like: 7.5 on the bottom and then a 10 up top. So now we're gonna strip this wire. It's a scrap piece of wire that we have. We're gonna strip it and crimp it to this, and then we're gonna crimp it here to the yellow wire on this plug. I was looking under the dash, and we're gonna go ahead and remove this once again so we could run this wire next to the speaker wire, which we already ran previously. The zip ties right here. We're gonna run it along that, and then we're gonna get it over here to this section. So I'm not gonna bore you with that because you guys already seen on the first part of the video. I removed all screws, and I'll put you guys back on once the wire's over here. We have the constant power going to the yellow one, so this harness is ready to go. We have the new head unit right here. So these new ones don't they work off of Bluetooth and all the newer stuff. They don't accept CDs. So I'm gonna connect it for now, and hopefully it turns on. Where's the key, Pepper? No. I'm gonna lay it right here for now. There you go. English. Oh, dude, what time is it?
4:01.
Oh, actually, we're not even gonna do that because we're gonna disconnect it right now. Yeah, we can hear the noise coming from this side and the noise coming from that side. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to take off the brackets off of the original radio and we're gonna mount it to this one. So we have to slide this little case off of this. I think this is like a universal case where they open up these little metal tabs and then they slide it in there and it'll come off. But since we have the little brackets, we're gonna use those just for a cleaner install. And also we're not gonna be using this little frame because on the bezel, you would have to cut it out in order to use this frame. So to remove this, all you gotta do is just pry up the little tab right here, like that, on both sides. Like that, and that slides off. And you can see that it has a couple of different holes for the screws depending on what kind of car you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this to remove this little plastic piece as well. In fact, we remove these little screws. I think this also just clips on. Yeah, so it has these little tabs right here and clip onto the radio. This thing is actually super light. So I'm gonna test fit it. I'm gonna put a couple of them in and see which ones work, and then I'll put you guys back on in a bit. So we got the brackets on and this thing is ready to go in, but we forgot to run the microphone for the Bluetooth phone calls and stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel this out and remove this. We're gonna pull this off. I'm gonna have to do it with two hands so I won't crack this. But basically we're gonna pull this out or off, and then we're gonna pull this off, and we're gonna put the microphone over here, like kind of like tucked away, and we're gonna run it in there behind this rubber piece along the pillar, drop it back down. We're gonna have to remove this once again and zip tie it to the other couple of cables that we already have back there, and then we'll connect that to the head unit. So all it is one of these little microphones. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we changed our mind. We're not gonna put it right here on this. We're gonna actually put it here on this pillar. It's gonna, well, we already removed it, but we're gonna put it right here on this little corner right here. We're gonna clean it up with alcohol, and we're gonna use the double-side tape that comes with this. Just tape it right there. It's gonna be tucked away like on the corner. And this is actually not even the right color. We picked these up from the junkyard, and I think the original color on this truck should have been brown. So we're gonna end up removing this pillar sometime soon, hopefully. So yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna put the double side thing right there, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the rest, routing the cable. So we got the microphone up here. It's tucked away. It's just this little microphone right there. Thing like that. That's cool. And we have the wire here. So we're gonna roll it up and then zip tie it. We're just gonna make it real short so we can put the head unit back in and install the bezel. So this one is the antenna. This one is, well, this one goes here. And then This one is the head unit, which goes there. We have RCAs and all that for the future if we want to do a head, sound system on this. And this little one goes there. We're gonna put this one over the head unit. I think that's the only plug missing. Let's see. This one, that one. I think that's it. So put these plugs up here. Yeah. Can you even see on that camera?
Yeah, you can.
No. This one goes in. Power antenna. Well, we actually need a power antenna for this truck, so if any of you guys have one of those antennas laying around, 84 to 85 power antenna, make sure to hit us up. Make sure plug. This one goes to the centerpiece right here. Okay, now before we bolt everything up, I'm gonna test it one more time. Hopefully the radio works and all that. Alright, so that was just a couple of seconds because of the copyright stuff, but yeah, we got everything to work. So now I'm gonna put all the screws back in, make sure that this is in all the way, and then we'll show you guys the finished product. So basically we can't put the, where is it, the little plastic thing? Oh, we can't put it on here because we would have to cut the radio bezel, and that would be pretty dumb to do. Doesn't look, no, the other one, the plastic, I don't know where it's at, but oh, that one, yeah. See, it would look pretty dumb just to have that there. We're not cutting this bezel. It's hard to come across a clean uncut bezel, so we're just gonna leave it like this. We still have the cubby hole. Just gotta make sure all the screws are in right. All right, so I'm calling Fatboy. Hello?
Oh, hold on, it's connected to the phone. Hold on. Hear me now?
Yeah.
You speak a little bit louder?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, now I can hear you clear.
Okay, cool. So the microphone is working. Okay, so we tested the radio, the microphone, everything works. That's it for this video. We finally got around to putting a head unit in this because we were struggling with the stock radio. It did work, it just wasn't loud enough, and we had to use the Bluetooth connector to connect to it, and he actually wanted something like this, something where you could just jump in and have your Bluetooth connected and go. So we're gonna do the time, just the time or whatever in a bit. Also the one right there, and that's pretty much it. make sure to follow us on Instagram at Yonke_OXC films. I will leave that in the description down below, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.